Guten Tag, bonjour, dumelang, molweni, hello, goeiemiddag. It is goeiemiddag, right? Damn, I lost the rhythm. Doesn't matter. Nonetheless, I am back. I am back with a banger. Woo! Hello, it is I, and welcome to my podcast. Woo! Episode 3. I feel so proud of myself for doing this, for taking the initiative to start a podcast. I've always been encouraged to start a podcast because I apparently have a very, very hunky-dory voice. I say, whoa, do I now? But no, on a much more serious note, I have always been encouraged to start a podcast. Apparently I have the voice for podcasting and for radio, so I take the compliment nonetheless. I don't disagree. And I've also been told so many times to start a YouTube channel because apparently I have the personality. Apparently. Once again, I don't disagree. Well, hi there everyone. And finally, welcome to the I'm an expert at nothing but myself podcast. I am so chuffed. Like, who would have thought, I applaud myself for the consistency and I hope to carry on. And I just hope this platform grows. Yo. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's get into it. Let me see. Where do I begin? Let's go. Things did not go as planned this week. So, initially, let me explain. Initially, the plan for this week was to call the episode Confronting the Truth With, and then insert whoever I would be on a phone call with. But for some odd reason, could be odd, but let me just stick to for some reason. The person, I had asked 2 people. The one person didn't respond. And this one person, I used to have a thing with her back in the day, and I broke her heart. And yeah, long story. And then the other person as well, I had a thing with her, very casual, and it didn't go anywhere. Not that I had hoped it would go somewhere, but it didn't go anywhere. And I wanted her, and then I wanted her on the podcast. And wait, let me actually read her message for you as I unlock my phone. I don't think there's anything wrong with me reading her message, because I will keep her name away from this. She said, I'm not too sure if I feel comfortable being on the podcast, if I'm being honest. I'm really sorry to disappoint. I was like, no! It was going to be one juicy episode, but I haven't given up. So, Confronting the Truth With, insert name, could be episode 4, episode 5, until one of these women say yes. Just one of them. But I do understand as well. It's kind of, I don't know, it feels like a very naked experience to put your dirty linen out there, I guess, and say to the world that yes, we had a thing. Yes, and your name being there, completely understand. So I don't hold it against them. So I decided to take a different approach today. I had honestly hoped that I would have a phone call, but can't have everything. So, therefore, I thought to myself, okay, cool, I'll have to talk again for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Who knows? Now it looks like there's a pattern, because episode 1, that's exactly what happened. Episode 2 was the phone call with my ex-girlfriend Laura. And then episode 3, on my own again. So I guess there's a pattern. So let's hope that episode 4. But I'll organize. But I am going to add voice notes from friends of mine. Just 2 friends of mine. These are voice notes that I had received from these 2 friends of mine, and those voice notes sat well with me. And sometimes when I kind of like just forget who I am, not that I do, but sometimes you just need to hear someone else say that you are the shit. And I'm gonna play these voice notes for you guys, because they speak to me. Yeah, those voice notes, I had saved them from WhatsApp because they spoke to me, and I play them. I sometimes just randomly go to them and I just listen to them. Anyway, let's get started. I have my journal with me, and I use this journal in therapy. I use it when I'm just by myself in my room. Currently, I'm not home. I am in a very awkward predicament. So recently, my girlfriend and I broke up. Reasons that shall remain a mystery. So let your imagination do what it wants to do. And I'm in a very awkward situation. So my ex-girlfriend and I are doing this weird, strange, uncoupling thing, where we are ending the process somehow together. So yes, I am at my ex-girlfriend's place. Do not laugh. But there's a reason why I mentioned that in the beginning, right? Before I jump into my journal. Cool. So you got that, right? No problem. So on the 16th of this month, October 2023, I had therapy just a few hours before my flight. And some things that I knew about myself were brought up. And I really do actually, I really do enjoy my therapy session with my new therapist. She communicates with her eyes a lot, and I like it. I don't know. It somehow feels like, because I'm an actor by profession, and it somehow feels like I am communicating with another actor. Because I don't know, man. We speak with our eyes. And I just enjoy her facial expressions when I say stuff. And she just, does something with her eyes. It's funny. From my angle, on that couch, it's hilarious. But I also like how confrontational she is. She will not beat around the bush. She'll tell you as it is. And it's very interesting just noticing different therapy styles that I am taking note of. So my previous therapist, love her to bits as well. She was more like me, like doesn't tell you the truth. Well, I will tell you the truth as it is, but she doesn't it's quite like non-confrontational. It's very like, let me just give you the truth softly, and you'll sit with it and you'll see what you do with it. But this time around, my new therapist, she's like, listen, you need to know this now, okay? Because it needs to change soon, okay? And strangely enough, she said she's going to listen to my first 2 episodes. So I don't know if she's going to keep up with it. So just in case she's listening, hello. So she pointed something out to me, which I have always known, but I always saw it as a positive thing. But you know how they say, like, sometimes your strengths can also be your weaknesses. And I was confronted with that. It was brought up by my previous therapist, and it was recently brought up again by my new therapist. I apparently, and I do agree, I don't know why I'm saying apparently, have a superhero complex. Yikes. I always feel the need to save the day. Why? I ask myself. Why? I don't know. Is it the way I was socialized as a boy/man? Don't know. Is it my family culture? Don't know. But something that came out of that was that what ends up happening in me being or exercising the superhero complex is that actually I end up punishing myself because I put others before myself. Ooh. Here I am, right? My whole worldview has sort of been crushed because what I thought was a good thing actually did not benefit me at all. Because in saving other people, I did the stupid thing known as forgetting about myself. Cool. Then she asked a very important question with her eyes. Like I said, her eyes speak. She asked, how are you playing a part in your pain? I was like, damn, I can't answer that now. Like I said, she has a very confrontational style. I like it. It's new. It gives me a lot to think about in that moment, as opposed to, I guess, with my previous therapist, it would be a thing of, sort of softness, and then I have a lot to chew. So therapy last year used to be on Fridays, and the previous year. So whatever I got through that therapy session, I could chew on during the weekend. Where with this confrontational style, which is usually on Mondays, usually my therapy sessions are on a Monday. So then what tends to happen with that is that I don't. So just wait. Let's quickly compare. The previous therapist, sessions on Friday. So because it's approached with softness, I have a lot to chew on slowly but surely during the course of during the weekend. So then when Monday begins fresh, where this therapy session, I go there on a Monday morning and I have a lot to chew on for that day. For that whole day. Which I do like because I can get it out the way and then start my Tuesday and move on. Cool. Now, what I was left with, I was left with a lot of questions. But strangely enough, I was listening to the song by, who's that song by? Just give me a second. That song is an oldie, but a goldie. It is called, bear with me, I am checking on my phone. If you're lucky enough, I'll even sing it for you. In the meantime, actually, let me sing it for you. Do you know that song? But these rose... I can't sing, so yeah, come on. But these rose-colored glasses that I've been looking through. So, what happened with me was that this worldview that I had of being a superhero to everyone, I don't know, I was sort of seeing the world through these rose-colored glasses, right? Thinking that everything can be fixed. Now, to those who do know me very well, you will know that to a certain extent I'm actually highly analytical, so I've been told, and so actually, you know what, I agree. I agree very much. Now, I always ask myself, where does this stem from? Where does it come from? I don't know what to do about it. Shmeridi meh, moo. Then, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me look at my parents. Interestingly enough, my mom always feels the need to save the day. My dad always feels the need to save the day. You can imagine that like tends to clash. But now, poor me, I got both of it. Or rather, I got it from both of them. So I got double the trouble that I did not ask for. I know, right? Interestingly enough, my friend who lives in Ecuador sent me a book. She sent me a book as an early birthday gift. To those who are listening, my birthday is on the 18th of November. Do something about that. So she sent me an early birthday gift, and because she knows I'm a sucker for knowledge, I like reading, I like listening to podcasts, and obviously recently I am currently enjoying podcasting. She sent me a book titled Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. And there's some things, I don't know, man, timing is just like everything, man. Whether you believe in God, listen, whoever you believe in, or the universe, I don't know, or the universe conspires things to happen the way they need to happen, blah, 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 blah. Point is, it's just amazing how things happen for a reason, right? Here I am, conflicted with this worldview of mine, right? And by the way, it's okay for your worldview to fall apart, because when things fall apart, you get an opportunity to, build it back up again, however it looks like, or however you want it to look like, right? After all, you are in the driving seat, blah, blah. I don't want to get too preachy, okay? Now, here I am, confronted with this worldview that has, let's just say it has fallen apart, because obviously now I'm faced with it. And I get this book, this blessing from my friend, Surrounded by Idiots. Now I want to open this book and I want to read something to you which spoke to me. Remember, I mentioned that whole thing with trying to see where the superhero complex comes from. Ta-da! Cool. Wait, I had why? I had the page just now. Now, chapter 2, right? Why are we the way we are? Listen to this. Where does our behavior come from? Why are people so different? Search me, very briefly. It's a combination of heredity and environment. Even before we're born. Important, listen to this one. Even before we're born, the foundations for the behavior patterns we will exhibit in adulthood have been laid. I was like, oof. Oh, goodness. There's a lot to change. There's a lot to unpack. Which is work. Now listen to this one. The temperament and character traits we have inherited affect our behavior. A process already begun at the genetic stage. Exactly how this works is still a bone of contention among scientists. But all are in agreement that it does come into play. Not only do we inherit traits from our own parents, but also from their parents. Woo! See? Hold on. Beep, beep. Right? When I read that, I was like, goodness. So this is just a thing. And I was like, my poor kids, I better change this. I better teach my kids to put themselves first. I don't know if anyone has ever watched Empire. I gotta put me first, Lucius. I gotta put me first, Lucius. Yeah. Because there's no way. There is no way, right, that my kids are going to be plagued with so much generosity to give to the world. No way. Because when you are a giver, people will always enjoy receiving from you. And what are you left with? An empty cup. And no one to fill it for you. Ta-da! Then, carries on. Okay, let me actually start with that sentence again, then carry on from there. Not only do we inherit traits from our own parents, but also from their parents, also in varying degrees from other relatives. So you can just imagine, at some point, or maybe someday, or I think maybe, I don't know, I'll think about it. Maybe I should do a family tree with my parents, have my parents on the podcast, and then they tell me about, like we go through the family tree and they tell me about each person's character traits, kind of like trace it back to you. Ooh, that would be so juicy. At some point or other, we have all heard that we speak like or look like an uncle or an aunt. As a child, I resembled my uncle. Okay, this is the author speaking, right? So let's just skip that. To explain how this is genetically possible would take a tremendous amount of time. For the moment, let us just establish that this inheritance lays the foundation for our behavioral development. Cool. Let me stop there. Right. Just bear in mind that this book, Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson, I highly recommend it. I'm not done with it, but I highly recommend it. Just the first 2 chapters, I was like, whoa. Pause. Where's my journal? I need to write that down right now. Meh. Cool. Now, when I was reading this, and when I was confronted with all of this, I immediately thought, cool, not all of it is bad, right? And I immediately thought about the voice notes that I had mentioned in the very beginning. Cool? About my personality. So there are 2 separate voice notes from 2 separate friends, which I am going to bring right now. So, enjoy.
You are you've always been one of my favorite people in the world, because you are who you are, and it's not insulting to anyone, but also it doesn't stand back for anyone. You don't stand back for anyone. You don't conform, and you're not going out of your way to please anyone. You're just looking to go back to do a homecoming for yourself.
And what we believe we can be able to be in it and be able to flourish in it. So as a brother, I had to say those words so that you know that here there's no perfection, there's no whatever, it's friendship and we are honest. And I hate the word safe space, but I have to use it. It's a safe space, Fadaka. It's a safe space. You are such an incredible person, and I think the industry needs people like you, because the way I've experienced you, I'll be comfortable seeing you not only as an actor but also as a director or an executive producer. So because of how you think and how you analyze and how you introspect things as well. So that's why I've always believed in you, my brother. This is not me buying face. I've always believed in you, but I've always believed that you've got something different to offer. And I think even if it takes years, which I hope not.
I hope not as well, yes. Now, you've heard all of that, and do with it what you will. Some might disagree, some might agree, but I don't show up the same for everyone, and I don't think you do too. Now, this got me thinking. There's no need for me to be harsh, right, on myself. There's no need for me to change everything about myself. After all, this is an odd 20-something, I'm not going to tell my age, 20-something odd years of behavioral patterns, and then I don't know what. It's hard to change, a pattern after all. But it's always worthy of just acknowledging it. as opposed to saying, well, that's just the way I am. You know those people. I can't change it. That's just the way I am. I'm pretty sure you can tell by now that I am a drama graduate. I'm an actor by profession. Different characters just live inside of me and they just like randomly come out at random times. My point is, this is exactly why I called this episode Walk with Who You Are. Walk with who you are. Now, what does that mean for me? What that means for me, if I walk with who I am currently. So Mr. Superhero needs a hero as well. Woo! Who would have thought? Marvel and all those other things lied to us. Who knew a superhero needs a superhero? That's what I am confronted with. A part of me has finally acknowledged that I need a little bit more support than what I'm used to, because I'm not really used to that. And I was told by my therapist that is okay. You don't have to always save the day. Sometimes someone else can save your day. It's like, wait, what? That's a thing. That is a thing. And you can't save the day on an empty cup, I was told. I was like, wait, what? But the world taught me that as a man, you must save the day, no matter what. So the thing that I'm confronted with for the most part is that why do I still want to save the day? It's the most difficult thing not being able to help. And if you're listening, don't take that as an opportunity to, Kgothi, can I ask for a favor? Don't you dare. Don't you dare. And I mean, if you listen to the previous episode 2, I was telling Lara that I've been put on antidepressants or mood stabilizers, don't know what to call them, blah, blah, blah. And I was also reminded that in order for me to enjoy the activities that I used to enjoy, I need to have a full cup. Oof. Now, after I broke up, or I didn't break up, but after my ex-girlfriend and I split, my therapist asked me a very important question. And I was like, okay, yes. She asked me, did you love her? Or were you trying to save her? I was like, get out of here. Oh my goodness. All those juicy questions that you need to hear. And the thing is, I'm always... Okay, this is the idea I have of saving people. And followed by that is everything can be fixed. The fixer. Like, I see a problem, I'm like, that's come on, that's simple. You just have to blah 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 blah. But some problems just have to be left as problems, And then what tends to happen is that I run myself dry. And what we coined in the therapy session was this term, the drought. Then what I experience is a drought. No water, cup is full, little droplets in my cup. And I need to save myself, but there's literally no fuel to get me running. Damn, I thought to myself. Now, you must be thinking, what's the point of this episode? And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that I use this, right, to obviously look inside of me, obviously, implying that this is an introspection session. Since those two ladies let me down, if you're listening, feel guilty. This is an introspection session. But I also kind of want to create a conversation. So in the Q&A, I don't know what I'll ask, but I'm going to ask a question. And considering that I don't think you will be anonymous, so considering that your name might show up, you don't have to like spill all your beans, right? How do I voice this out? So I had put my laundry out there for you to witness and listen to. And I'm wondering, are there any realizations that you have come to about yourself that you kind of need to tweak a little bit? Because, for example, there's nothing wrong with generosity, but too much generosity. There's someone out there waiting for you to do everything for them. And then what happens is that you get nothing in return. Give and take. Well, I really wish this was an interview, but I'm really not disappointed. I'm also not disappointed that this was an opportunity for me to blah blah blah. And I like to blah 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 the whole day. I could blah 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 the whole day. Now I lie. I lied to you. But I really hope you enjoyed this episode. And I will see you next week. Cool. Cheerio. Or, as the French say, au revoir.